Hi there, my name is Adam Gorelick. I'm with the Honors College at FIU, full-time faculty there, and I'm very excited about a new class that I'm offering through the Honors College called Baseball, the Magic and Myth of Our National Pastime. So this is a class about not just the history, but primarily the cultural impact of baseball all throughout its history. So from its inception in the 1840s as a very distinctive bat and ball game in the United States, up until the present day, and everything along the way with that. So I intend for us to give baseball, the topic of baseball, the typical Honors College interdisciplinary treatment. We want to look at it from about every angle possible, just to kind of find out about this game. Baseball came to be referred to as America's national pastime in the years following the Civil War. During Reconstruction and things of that nature, baseball became a thing back then. Walt Whitman even has some interesting early quotes covering baseball games, or talking about it in his usual poetic way. He described the potential impact of baseball as transcendental union. And so this interests me. My background is in the academic study of religion. So myth and ritual and other dimensions of religion are really kind of what get my juices flowing and get my interest going in terms of research. And baseball, although it's a sport, it's athletics, it's all the things that we know it to be, but it also kind of has this connection with American identity and has throughout many different decades. So we're going to look at baseball in many different ways. Of course, there's some obvious topics that are going to come up. One that comes up a lot in thinking about the cultural impact of baseball is the question of integration, inclusion, and representation. Jackie Robinson in 1947, of course, breaking the gentleman's agreement, the color barrier, prohibiting African Americans from playing in the National League or American League of Major League Baseball. It goes much further beyond that. African Americans were playing professional and organized baseball in the 19th century. And then there was a backlash against that. There were indigenous Americans playing baseball in the early days. I'm interested in learning about Latin American, Jewish, Irish, Italian ball players. This kind of notion of the United States as a melting pot or a place for many different cultures to come together and find common ground. This is fascinating to me. It's something that I would like us to look further into with respect to, again, baseball. There's a couple other topics we want to cover in this class about baseball and its cultural impact, one of which is women in baseball. Effa Manley is in the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown for being an executive, a woman executive in the early days in the Negro Leagues. There have been women playing baseball, organized in professional baseball throughout. Many people have seen the movie A League of Their Own, which talks about the kind of wartime situation of some of the men going off to fight in World War II and some women playing baseball professionally here. They continue to this day. There is a woman playing professional baseball right now for the Staten Island Ferry Hawks named Kelsey Whitmore. I want to know more about this story of the integration of baseball, the involvement and inclusion. I'm interested in the ethics of baseball. Baseball has sort of had these situations, the Black Sox scandal of 1919, the inclusion of African Americans in baseball that started in the late 40s, the question of steroids in baseball, the question of labor disputes in baseball. There are all kinds of interesting aspects of national identity and ethics and morality that kind of come up in this sport and in this pastime. Another thing that we want to look at is the cultural impact of baseball with kids. I myself, when I was a child, I collected baseball cards. I have some here with you. I got a Nap Lajoie from 1913. Sandy Koufax from 1960. He famously sat out Game 1 of the '65 World Series because it was Yom Kippur. Monty Irvin, this is a card from 1953. Monty Irvin was a Negro League player who then joined the National League and was a mentor for Willie Mays when Willie Mays came up in 1951. Anyways, I want to look at baseball on all levels: Little League, high school, college baseball, FIU athletics I want to get involved with, Major League Baseball, etc. We're going to do research, we're going to do writing, we're going to have fun, we're going to do creative storytelling about baseball, novels, poetry, film, short stories, you name it. And I also want to get some fresh air. This is not a baseball class on how to play baseball, but I do want to touch a baseball glove and a baseball. And I want to sort of connect with that direct experience of play and the game of baseball and its connection to our culture and our national identity.